be honest. I sat on the Blue Line recently. Tracks playing beneath my feet and between my ears, semiconducting. Lists of crystallizing regrets on the fog of a cold window, the echo of a phone call ghosting down the tube, an early morning emergency ride, and a father who never told his son that anything was wrong. The thoughts that sat derisively next to me whispered of guilt and blame. If you love something, let it go. If it returns to you, it's yours forever. None of this blame was bent towards a man who had mastered the act of invisibility when I was yet young. All thoughts pressed upon a son who would never bother to find him. It's complicated telling, neither convicting nor compelling unless you two have been tasked with tracking down an invisible man. It's a convoluted oration absent of illusion or elation unless there is one here also who has experienced generational guilt. His sin is still in my soul, and so I stay single for fear of passing it on. My romantic failures are a story for another time. This is about a boy and his dad. This is about my father's son. This is a pressing need to flush out and flout the misconception that a child should be better than his or her parent. I have seen a little boy hide behind the legs of his mother. I've seen a little girl dance on the toes of her father, and she looked up to him, and he stood tall. So I walked through empty, sterile hallways, pallbearing almost 22 years of decades, 2 decades of silence to the grave. My father half reclined on the other side, laced with blood thinners meant to ease out the hard masses that impeded his life from moving forward. I needed those medications in equal measure. See, those masses lunged at me from a young age, staggering like the writer's block meant for the insurrection of thoughts of freedom, holding like burrs and brine to the incomplete soul of that man's shadow. I can still feel his 5 o'clock on my forehead, while we read on a corduroy couch, the stubble catching like a polysyllabic collection of letters at the end of a page, like the hope of a bright picture at the beginning of the next chapter. I still feather the edge of the page when I read the anticipation of a better turn, 20 years in the making, the longest chapter of my life. The Bible talks about being compelled by love, while I am compelled by fear. I fear him still, not his stinging fists nor his thunderous voice. I fear my own voice and the silhouette that I still step in. His departure the first time was precluded by a phone call and flashing lights. His departure the next time may very well be the same. The only difference is now I get to choose. The only question is, do I more greatly love or fear? Because I have been told that perfect love casts out fear. I feared the manifestation of my father's love for me, the love that transitioned from kisses on the forehead to fists in the abdomen to abandonment. I did not inherit my father's love. If I had, I would leave him. If you love something, let it go. If it returns to you, it's yours forever. My father's sin has not returned to me because I never let it go to begin with.